It is no secret that we have a lot of treasures here in Chattanooga, and I think we're proud, rightly so, of each and every one of them. But one of our real gems is the Southern Lit Alliance. Linda Levan is the executive director of that organization, and she very proudly comes on the show various parts of the year, talking about different speakers and authors they're going to highlight. Hip hip hooray for her, because this morning she's highlighting our very own Chattanoogan, Lorraine Hubbard. So good to see you both this morning.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
Okay, Linda, I'm going to throw it to you first, then we're going to hear from Rita about her stories. But you do often bring in authors from across the region. How fun to get to highlight one of our very own.
Yes, we have every month, every other month, author lectures who talk about their books, and they come from all over the country. But we got connected with Rita about her children's books for a project. And I knew this really needs to be told. Chattanoogans need to know about the history of African Americans. There are just some amazing stories, and I'm delighted to be able to showcase Rita's work.
Well, we are too this morning. So Rita, I'm going to kind of throw it to you and let you become the star of the show, which is what you deserve to be. But you and I were chatting a bit. You were a teacher for a number of years in the city schools here. And I'll set you up real quickly that I shared with you. I'm a 51-year-old white woman, and I understand with each passing year what I didn't learn when I was in school. And so this is a great time for people like me to get connected with a different part of our history that we may not have otherwise heard before.
Absolutely. First of all, yes, I was a teacher for about 15 years, and then 5 years off and on after that, for a total of 20 years. But before that, when I was in the school system myself as a student, I noticed that there were books I was looking for that were not there. And as I grew older, I realized I might have to be the one to write those books. And that's how my picture books came to life. It's because I realized I had to be the one that wrote them. And I realized that Chattanooga, Tennessee has a treasure chest of uncovered stories just waiting to be told.
So we've referenced a little bit the children's books. You have two of those books with you this morning, but as I understand it, they really are spun off of the adult book that you wrote first. Is that correct?
Yes, they are. That book is African Americans of Chattanooga, A History of Unsung Heroes. This book actually came about in the year 2001 because a philanthropist who has passed away, but at the time he was doing some research on Chattanooga's one and only African American teaching hospital, and that's Walden Hospital. He asked me to do research on the hospital. And as I did, I started uncovering all these amazing stories. And he said, why not put it into a book? That's where this book came from. And some of the stories were so unforgettable for me that I just began to mine them, and they became children's books.
One of the children's books you were showing me earlier is about Mary Walker, whose story I only learned fairly recently. And at first it's difficult to believe, but it's true. How old was she when she learned to read?
She was 116 years old when she learned to read, and that's this book here. It's called The Oldest Student, How Mary Walker Learned to Read. She was enslaved. She was set free by the Emancipation Proclamation when she was 15, but it took her 101 years to learn to read. So she didn't learn until she was 116 years old.
That's the power, I guess, of literature, right? Because you can be a kid struggling. Maybe your difficulty is learning to do math, but you read about her story and you'll learn how to persevere.
Absolutely. And you know, you just said something that one of my students said yesterday. I was doing a Zoom with a class yesterday, a school up north, and one of the students was saying that he liked her story because he had been struggling with a math problem. So I told the entire class, you can take this book and you can apply it to anything, whether you're struggling with your spelling words or learning the lines to a play, or you're trying to learn a dance move, or whatever it is, you keep on and you persevere until it happens for you, just like it happened for Mary. And hopefully it won't take that long. But
we might not have 115 years.
Right.
I'm not going to have a lot of time. I would so love to have you both back if you don't mind taking a rain check. But Linda, in the meantime, you want people to know that they can go on your website to find out more about these lecture series. Is that right?
Yeah, so she'll be speaking on March the 18th, that's Thursday, and at 6 o'clock, if they go to our website, they can register and get the Zoom link. It's a free event. We just want to share the story.
And I found out I have a little bit of extra time, so before I let you totally run, Rita, I will ask you this. Spring break is coming up soon. Would there be a way that you could think of that some families of all races could go and learn a little bit about African American history in Chattanooga? Is there a good site?
Yes, absolutely. Well, a good activity is, I always suggest a great marker hunt. It's almost like an Easter egg hunt, only this is a marker hunt. Go find a marker that you've passed by who knows how many times, never looked at it twice. Go look at it twice and see what you might learn about the person or the place that has earned that historical marker. You may be surprised.
And are your books available at area bookstores as well as online?
Yes, you can find them at Barnes & Noble. You can check them out in the library, and you can get them off of Amazon.com or anywhere online.
Well, y'all have both been delightful. Thank you so very much for your time. And you don't know watching, but we had quite the technical feat to get them both on with us this morning. So hats off to both of you for persevering on that one.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Again, here is the information for the Southern Lit Alliance, their website, as you would expect, southernlitalliance.org. If you will go there, you can see the lineup that Linda referenced for the upcoming lecture series, but don't miss Rita's on March 18th. We're back after this.
James, your car was